On today's show,
The Raptors have made their power move, but which other teams need to strike a deal before the trade deadline?
we debate who should be the next hero inductee in our All-Star Hall of Fame.
And we've got nothing but love in our brand new edition of the Meme Team.
It's Wednesday, February 15th. The starter starts now.
Good evening, sweet world, and welcome to The Starters. Whether you're listening to the podcast, joining us on NBA TV, or later on YouTube, we're very, very happy to have you. I'm J.E. Skeets, and alongside me, as always, that's Tass Mellis.
Happy Hump Day.
To his right, the international man of mystery, taking it to the max, Lee Ellis.
Friend.
Lily.
Lily, and last, certainly not least, over there, it is the bearded one. That's Trey Kirby.
Hey-o!
TK, what do you got, man?
Well, I'm here at the internet looking for your best tweets at #TheStarters. And guys, things are heating up in the Starters Dunk Contest. On Monday, we announced that I'll be putting my title on the line against Skeets. And as such, the two of us have been out in the streets getting our dunk game tight. The hype has gotten so out of control, in fact, that some people think Skeets might even win. He does have the little man's advantage. He's a fresh face, and despite the fact we haven't actually seen him put a dunk down or try anything besides a one-hander, people think he might pull off the upset, but I'm not too worried about it.
Some smart people out there.
Yeah, but unbeknownst to most of these people, Skeets here has been in a few dunk contests in the past, and let's just say there's a reason he kept these dunks secret. They're not too impressive, okay? The guy's gonna go up. He's got a one-hander. Does he? He's got a two-hander. Does he? I don't know.
that was
Does
good.
he have enough dunks? Can he do anything besides a simple dunk?
right.
Can he make his dunks? These are all questions you're gonna need to tune in Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern on NBA TV to find out. I'm not too worried about
You
it.
seem
Like I
worried.
said,
You seem worried, actually.
I'm only worried about competing against
Interesting.
myself, against history. Nobody's ever won a three-peat in the dunk contest, but there's always a first for everything.
It's going to be a good dunk contest this year because one of the competitors is actually going to jump. Someone's going to be in the air.
Who? You?
Me.
Oh.
Yeah, because I've seen your dunks. You're on the ground while you're dunking it. Check the foot.
The trash
check
talk
the
has
foot.
begun.
Have you landed a dunk yet?
Yeah, you'll see. You'll see on Friday.
Are you
You'll see on Friday.
Photoshop? Skeets, are you Photoshopped
No,
on the
that's
left?
the thing. Neither of those
You
photos
look like you're
are
looking down.
photoshopped. So we will see. I can't wait, Kirby. I can't wait.
I can't either. I mean, 3 times in a row is impressive.
Oh, I can feel the tension in here.
Chance.
Hey, I
Not
mean,
a
my
chance.
resume is impeccable.
You
Impeccable.
went against him and lost once against Lee.
He turned me into a monster.
He's 80
Skeets.
years old.
Yeah, how old are you? Exactly
not
right.
much
They said
older
you were
than
a young upstart, but you got 5 years on me. 5 old, painful years on those legs.
I will say you were dunking in jeans in those old
you.
dunks, so
Thank you.
it does make it a little
The
more
crew
difficult.
doesn't
wait.
want to say anything out
Oh,
there.
yeah. It is tense in here.
Because
It's
it is
Friday.
so tense
Friday's
in
show
here.
is must watch. All right, we got a blast tonight.
Let's take a
gonna,
breather here.
We're going to share our final batch of our All-Star nominees when it comes to the Hall of Fame, as we have the All-Stars, the Starters All-Star Hall of Fame. And we got a new edition of the Meme Team, but we got to start with a little 3-on-3 action. Trey, you got some questions for us, some key questions as we head in towards this All-Star break.
That's right. After the Raptors made the first big splash of trade season by acquiring Serge Ibaka, the trade winds are a-blowing, with names like Jahlil Okafor, Jimmy Butler, and Emmanuel Mudiay being thrown around. Guys, tell me, which team needs to make a trade before the deadline?
Will the Celtics finally use some of those draft picks? That's the same question every year. All signs point to yes this year. They're 2.5 back of the Cavs. The Cavs are decimated by injuries.
Yep.
The Celtics have the easiest sked in the second half, so this could be the time that they go for it. It only took Terrence Ross in a late first-round pick to get Serge Ibaka. I know I'm saying only, but to me, that's not a huge price to pay to go after that number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. They have so many assets. That being said, with all the signs pointing to yes, Danny Ainge probably says no because that's the way he is.
Yeah, you're right.
But for the Celtics, I think it is really important that they do get that number 1 seed in the East, because I think if they are going to take on the Cavs, we know that no matter where LeBron plays, he's always going to be the favourite.
Yeah.
But if it goes to 7 games and you're the Celtics, you want to have home court advantage. It means a lot more to them than it means to Cleveland.
I think the center spot, it's available out there. I mean, there are some guys, I don't know if Vucevic is still available in Orlando. He's picked up his defense. That's exactly what Boston needs. And Nerlens Noel, is there potential that he's available? There seems to be a few guys that are available. Will Boston pull the trigger? Because I'm really, really interested in this top of the Eastern Conference and how it's all shaken down now that these injuries have really decimated the Cavs. Again, Kevin Love, J.R. Smith, Iman Shumpert, down the line, LeBron, his minutes have to reduce at some point.
And, I mean, you said it. I mean, they have so many picks, so many young guys on the Celtics roster that they could use in a trade. What about even shooting for the stars here and more like a Jimmy Butler, whose name has popped up from time to time in trade rumors? I mean, you imagine putting Jimmy Butler into the mix without giving too much up. You know, obviously some young guys and some picks. That could be enough to maybe take down the
It's
Cavs.
worth, though, giving up 2 first-round picks for a guy like Jimmy Butler, who's a proven talent, an all-star player,
what I'm
all-NBA player, all-NBA defensive player. I mean, if you've got all these draft picks in your storage cupboard, you may as well spend them on a proven talent. That's still young enough. He's still got plenty of his career to play. I would be doing something. I'd be at least offering something like that to the Bulls and see if they bite.
13 picks over the next 4 years. That sounds like a lot. They are sort of backloaded. You know, they are kind of 2018, 2019. Most people want draft picks this season because the draft apparently is loaded. We don't know anything about NCAA up here, but apparently it's loaded. And the center spot, I think, is their primary concern because defensive rebounding is a problem. Rim deterrence is a problem, and Jimmy Butler doesn't do that, obviously.
No.
He does a heck of a lot of other things.
You make the change, though, if it's a quality player like that. You just say, look, all right, we'll get him in and then we'll figure out the rest.
Will this be it? Will they finally do it?
Because Danny Ainge has done a great job accumulating all these assets.
Of course.
But it doesn't really mean a whole lot if you can't then turn those into tangible assets in return.
I think a team's lower, obviously, in the Eastern Conference standings that I think you could see possibly make a move as we get to the deadline is the Detroit Pistons. And I know they're in the 8th spot right now in the East, but they're actually closer to being the second worst team in the East than they are to having home court advantage in the first round. That's just the way the weird East is. You got to ask yourself, are you convinced Reggie Jackson and Andre Drummond are your cornerstones for like a 50-win team? If you believe that, then maybe you don't look to move one of these guys.
That's what it seemed like last year.
I know, but Reggie's been a different player since he's come back from injury.
Yeah.
They've obviously struggled. Drummond hasn't really improved like some people thought he would, both offensively and defensively. You know, Zach Lowe has an article up today about the idea of that the Pistons are making calls. No one's safe on that roster with Van Gundy, be it Drummond, be it Reggie Jackson. I just think if they're like, well, we can't become an elite team with these two guys getting paid the big bucks to lead our team, and one of them has to go, maybe they make a move.
Yeah, I would be shocked to see Andre Drummond traded. He's just a prototypical
I think Reggie
center.
Jackson is more likely than Andre Drummond. Yeah.
Are they going to get enough for Reggie Jackson at this point? It doesn't feel like his trade value is that high.
No, it's
right?
not. But Ish Smith right now is playing better than
Mhm.
Reggie Jackson. That is just the way it is. They're playing better when he's out there than with Reggie and Drummond.
I love me some Ishmael Smith.
Yeah. Okay, next one here.
All right, there's a
CFL
lot of
reference.
big storylines heading into All-Star Weekend. Kevin Love's surgery and injury might have opened the door in the Eastern Conference. 3 former Oklahoma City Thunder former teammates, are gunning for the Most Valuable Player award. And Phil Jackson and Carmelo Anthony might hate each other. Guys, what's the biggest storyline heading into All-Star Weekend?
We don't have to stay on this long because I already mentioned it. LeBron James cannot continue to play 37 minutes a game. This is season number 14. He can't be second in the league in minutes the rest of the season. Can he? I mean, Brad Stevens, the guy we just saw, is coaching the All-Star game this weekend.
So LeBron's playing 48.
Exactly. And you're playing overtime, and the second overtime, and the third overtime. He just said, I can rest when I retire. But does he really mean that? I mean, a few weeks ago, he was talking about getting help so he could reduce those minutes. It can't go on all year long. 6 straight finals, it has to stop at some point, right? I know LeBron is extremely tough, but they have to be reduced. And like you said, they're going to be the favorite no matter what. So even if you lose that 1 seed and LeBron sits, you got to do it.
Yeah, in the end, I agree with that. That's after the All-Star break, though, in a weird way. I think heading into the All-Star weekend, the storyline might be Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant playing on the same team once again in the All-Star game. Now, Russ isn't starting, which actually makes this even more interesting because now we're going to find out whether or not Westbrook will play with Durant at all. And that's a question being thrown around there. I mean, Kerr has said he's going to play all 4 Warriors together. Who's the 5th? Is it Russ? Will there be beef between them still? I mean, they just went at each other, obviously, in a nationally televised game. I mean, that's an interesting storyline.
He knows we want to see that. We want to see Westbrook out there with all those Warriors players. So I wouldn't be surprised if Kerr does it, only for a couple of minutes or so, but just to get everyone talking. It's a fun game. Steve Kerr knows that.
Will Westbrook pass it?
That's a better question.
Maybe they'll have a fight. Maybe they'll just drop the gloves and fight on the court.
I don't think Silver would want that, but all right, final one here, Trey.
All right, heading into the break, the playoff picture seems to be solidifying a little bit with just a couple of postseason slots in either conference still up for grabs for the most part. A bunch of teams who might rise up to snatch them, but guys, who is your playoff dark horse?
I'm going with the Dallas Mavericks, sitting right now 11th in the Western Conference, but only 3 games back of the Nuggets in 8th. And they're doing it the old-fashioned way. They're not shooting a lot of three-pointers. They're not a fast-paced team. They're actually second slowest in the league. But what Rick Carlisle's done, as always, he's a genius, slows the game down, make sure they get quality possessions and quality shots. Obviously, Dirk coming back and looking healthy for the first time this season has really, really helped them as well. Yogi Ferrell's been a fantastic acquisition for them. But Harrison Barnes, he came into this season with huge expectations, got that huge contract, and people were on him from the start. He can't shoot. He's not that number one guy. He's starting to show. He's starting to fit into that role, what he can do offensively. He's still got a few flaws. Long, lanky defenders cause him a few problems, but he's got some variety to his game. He can hit the pop-up shot, he can back down a guy, and he can take someone into the post. So things are coming together for the Mavs, and with Rick Carlisle at the helm, I think Dallas is one of the smartest teams out there. So
you think if they got into the playoff mix, that'd be a team you really wouldn't want to match up?
Well, yeah, I mean,
even if you were the mighty
teams
Warriors.
like the Kings and the Nuggets haven't been there for a long time. The Blazers are sort of in and out as well. But again, Rick Carlisle knows how to manage his team and manage his players. And so I think that 3-game deficit is something that the Mavs, if everyone stays healthy, of course, they can overcome.
You said he can hit the pop-up shot. Is that a pop-up shot?
he probably
hit that.
could. Yeah.
He can bury that.
All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we'll debate which heroes should enter the Starters All-Star Hall of Fame. Bones in the running. Come on back. It's time for our final round of nominees for the Starters All-Star Hall of Fame. This, of course, honoring our favorite players and moments, both on and off the court from All-Star weekends past. 3 specific wings. We've already tackled the dunk wing. That was on Monday. Yesterday was the three-point contest wing. Today, it's the heroes wing, which is celebrating the most entertaining and iconic moments. Here's who's already in. Rolando Blackman Lee.
Yeah, nice
with the
work, bro.
confidence, baby, confidence in the 87 All-Star game. He's in. He's in.
He walked in.
With confidence. Magic Johnson and his return during the 92 All-Star game. Unbelievable moment.
Easy choice again.
Knocking down the street.
25 years ago.
Magic is
Incredible.
in. It's not just All-Star games, remember.
Right.
Jason Williams in the Rising Stars game. Specifically his elbow pass to Rafe LaFrentz, who got fouled. Still should have finished anyway. But the pass is in. The elbow pass is in. We just saw White Chocolate show that in
He gave a
Area
shout out to
21.
Rafe LaFrentz
Yeah,
as
he
well.
says he would have finished if he didn't get fouled.
He did. Rafe LaFrentz is not in. The pass is in. Marvin Gaye with the sexy national anthem
The way anthem should be, really.
back in '83.
I'm surprised they didn't actually change this to the anthem.
Mariah Carey. Jordan's last All-Star game. She had the MJ dress. MJ, somewhat amused.
Somewhat, yeah.
She's in. The dress is in. And finally, we got 6 inductees here into the Heroes wing. Charles Barkley versus referee Dick Bavetta. The race
really
in
happened.
Vegas in 07. Chuck just won. Both men went down. There were bloody knees, and there was a smooch. It's all in.
That's awesome.
Okay, so there it is. The 6 plaques of our Heroes wing, celebrating entertaining and iconic moments, as I said. Those are your 6. But we're adding one more this year. We have 4 nominees for the Heroes wing. Brent Barry and his 3-point dance. Says he won some money for this, right?
Yeah.
With Gary Payton. He's in. That's a nominee, excuse me.
Smooth moves, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
And the old school kicks.
Still had the salad hair, too.
That's all
never
he
lost
always says when he's
Maybe the salad hair should be in.
Another nominee for the Hero wing, Chris Bosh, being a 3-time Shooting Stars champ. 2013 to 2015. No longer an event.
Yeah, it was so good they had to cancel it.
That's right. Kept winning it. So he is a nominee. Splash.
He was the best.
Tracy McGrady, guys, is another nominee for being the king of going off the backboard. He did it in multiple All-Star games.
Yeah.
And people loved it, of course, every time he did it.
Always looks cool.
Even when it was a layup.
yeah.
Even when it was a layup. It's the thought that matters. Well, he's not done. He's not done. So there's the nominee. One more. And this one's a little interesting because technically last year we gave him the All-Star Artiste just for his body of work.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody remembers that.
Yeah, for sure. Shaquille O'Neal and his Jabberwockies performance in the 09 All-Star game when he came out there in Phoenix. So those are the 4 nominees.
I'm going to start
Who
us
gets
off
your
here.
vote?
Shaquille O'Neal should be in. This is what it's all about. All-Star Weekend is what Shaquille O'Neal was made for, right? I mean, we have an All-Star game, we've got the skills challenge, we've got the dunk contest, and then we've got Shaquille O'Neal. He takes over the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He said this was not choreographed as well.
Yeah, he said it was all freestyle.
Yeah.
I
it was amazing.
don't unbelieve him.
Shaq is a good dancer.
Yeah.
Oh,
Of course.
So you think
Yeah,
you think
just Shaq. Stick him in.
Shaq's in? Anyone want to make a case for someone else?
Chris Bosh, he owned the Shooting Stars competition.
owned an event,
He
yeah.
did, because he was actually legitimately good at hitting that half-court
Yeah,
shot.
yeah,
I don't have the percentages here, but he would have never taken more than 2 or 3 shots per
Definitely.
time. And, he went out and he enjoyed it, and he defended the title not once, but twice with Neek as well every time. I think Chris Bosh, I'm
right.
surprised this isn't an event actually in the weekend, because it was kind of fun.
Oh yeah, half-court shots are always awesome,
Yeah.
even when you completely airball them, like we always do.
All right, so we got the poll up. Who should be inducted into the Heroes Wing of the Starters NBA All-Star Hall of Fame this year? Bones and his 3-point dance, Bosh for dominating the Shooting Stars for 3 years, McGrady going off the glass time after time, or Shaq, just Shaq in general.
Some great candidates other than Bones.
Get your votes in, guys. Oh, man.
Just kidding. That S isn't for Sonics, it's for salad.
Right after this show, we're jumping on a flight, heading to New Orleans for All-Star Weekend, 2-hour-long shows. Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern. That will include Trey and I going at it head-to-head in the dunk contest, and Sunday,
right.
another hour show at 4 p.m. Eastern. All right. Got to take a break. When we come back, a super romantic edition of the Meme Team. Sexy time.
I'm traveling man, doing all that I can.
Welcome back to the Starters. Every week we scour the internet to bring you the Meme Team, our favorite weird and wacky moments from the past 7, but in this case 6 days.
It was a fantastic week. At number 5, Dario Saric. He's almost going to get his hand taken off by Rashad Holmes. He's in pain.
Break
Bring
his
the
thumb.
Luawu Cabarro there. He still holds his hand out. He wants one, see?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You don't want none of that. Watch Ricky Rubio here on the left. This one is a little less painful. Just a little more of a sting. Don't like it.
It's just all fingers. Oh man.
Fired up. Wizards forward Jason Smith gave us a little treat this week, singing a little Fresh Prince of Bel-Air for us.
West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground where I spend most of my days. Chilling out back, interacting all cool and shooting some b-ball outside of school. When a couple of guys, they was up to no good, started making trouble in my neighborhood.
And we remind you, not just a singer, also a dancer.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, real triple threat.
Yeah, this guy's like Timberlake.
Who knew Jason
these
Smith
moves.
was so funny? Somebody should have told us.
At number 3, LeBron James did not get touched on this dunk try by Victor Oladipo. Not whatsoever. So the House of Highlights, they had a little bit of fun with that flop. Yeah.
The first reserve doing it. Look at this.
Oh yeah,
This is
he's
weird.
going everywhere.
Yeah.
Is this a Daft Punk video?
Oh, yeah.
It's going to beat Phelps.
Big week for Chance the Rapper, who not only became the first artist to win a Grammy without selling physical copies of his music, but he also made the Meme Team.
What an honor.
Chicago native there, getting put on Wade's body. Cash, though. And naturally, the Hawks had to congratulate Kent Bazemore on his big night because that's
He's
he
the
looks
same
exactly
guy.
like him. It might be the same guy, yeah.
At number 1, the most fun sports league in the world, well, had some fun with Valentine's Day, of course. DeMar DeRozes, a dozen DeRozes for you.
Oh, that's good.
Devin Booker, you're number 1 in my book. Russell Westbrook, I will never leave you. Joel Embiid,
Check, yes.
Yes.
Draymond Green, let's kick it. That's a nice one, NBA on TNT. Kawhi Leonard keeps it simple. I like you. Well done. Be my Denzel Valentine from the Bulls.
Gotta do it.
And our own Gasol of me loves Gasol of you.
That was Trey's,
course,
right? Did you send
yes.
that out? Did you actually print it?
Print it? No, I didn't print it and give it to anybody. I just made it really to hear Taz sing it.
Yeah.
The entire reason.
Mission
worth it.
accomplished.
Yeah, it was worth it.
Should give it to Marcus Sol this weekend. We should print one. Some great news. We had a wedgie last night.
Yeah, we're on fire.
Valentine's
We're on
Day
fire.
wedgie.
We're on fire.
Another three-point shot, another wedgie. Larry Nance probably shouldn't be taking those, but for us, it works out
Hey.
quite well.
That's right.
Let it fly, Larry.
44 last year, guys. For the entire season, including the playoffs, we're eking closer. 35 projected at this point to get 55. Now it slows down the playoffs. Wedgie watch.
Hey,
I don't know, 50 looks good.
Let's
50
not get
looks
cocky,
good right
though.
now.
Let's not get cocky.
Keep those balls a sticking.
Keep shooting threes. It
right.
helps.
That's
Helps the
right.
numbers.
All right, final break. We have to jump. Lili's very solid play. Quick look at last night's pick'em results. I was the only one that had the Lakers. Oh, they could not pull it out. You guys had the Kings. Good win for you guys. Got a tight race here for the month of February. Tonight's pick and play. Tass, the only one taking the Lakers in a back-to-back situation, of course. Everyone else has the Suns at home. Good luck to all. Lili, where are we going for the VSP?
Back to Los Angeles, but it comes from the Sacramento Kings. A beautiful little tic-tac-toe here. Costa's down low, fires it out to Benny McLemore, wide open for
Swish ball.
Oh, yes, he
play.
is. We don't often see the Kings, but tell you what, keep moving the ball like that, hit those shots.
That's a nice one.
You'll feature regularly. That's what I call a very solid play.
Triple teaming the Kufos down there.
The fan signs keep coming, Lee.
Yeah, and it's our old friend McKinley Sims, the Simpsons character, with his wife, girlfriend, friend, Kristen sent that in.
Yeah.
2 signs for the price of one. One
What
on
do you
the
mean?
phone.
One's his phone.
Well, that's okay.
That's not a
okay.
sign.
He's
That's his
back.
phone.
He's saying he's back. He's actually stealing Trey's line, but we'll let him off.
All right, guys.
Great
thanks.
reasons.
Thanks for joining us tonight. We are, we're about to jump on a flight. What's our gate number? Anyone figure it out yet?
A31.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
We
Find us at the airport.
we are headed to New Orleans for All-Star Weekend, obviously one of the best times of the NBA season. 2 shows, Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern, Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern. We'll also hit you with a drop podcast
Nice.
as well. Look for that around Sunday morning.
We'll be playing our horns on Bourbon Street late nights.
Oh, yeah.
Come on down here, our
Wait,
tunes.
look at this. We got the king cake here in studio.
Whoa!
yeah.
We're already getting
Let
beat.
me show you my brownies.
Whoa.
Brownies! Come on! Let's go!
Oh, this is a little snake.
We're gonna have a blast out
All
there.
right, guys. We'll see you soon.
Thanks for joining us, folks.
Got nothing
And
for me, Rick?
remember, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Hey!